How y'all guys doing? Got a big fight this weekend. Danny Garcia and Amir Khan. This is a tough fight for me to pick. I know you guys probably accuse me of being a homer because Danny is, of course, from Philly, but it's not like that. I call it the way I see it. A lot of times I put money on these fights, so my loyalty is to my pockets, not to a fighter, unless I'm working with the fighter. Danny's a nice kid. I know, me and his dad is cordial, but we don't have a relationship like that where I would pick him because he's from my hometown. I want to get that out of the way first. This fight is a lot closer to me than what a lot of people believe. I personally feel as though that Khan has to be very careful in this fight. I'm going to break each guy's style down, and then I'm going to give my pick. Khan is a dynamic offensive fighter. He's very fast. He's very long. He's a decent puncher. He punches really, really straight. He's one of the few guys in this era that consistently punches in combination. He's very ambitious. He'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime, and I love that. I got a lot of respect for Amir Khan. I don't want to bring up old stuff, but I think Amir Khan got a raw deal in D.C., in his last fight. There was a lot of things going on. If I was in Amir Khan's corner, I would have definitely been upset, with different things that happened, with the referee and the guy talking to one of the judges and, point being taken in the last round. And, I got a lot of respect for Lamont Peterson, but, that's a tough way. That was a tough deal with Khan. Khan has been on the road 3 times to fight some tough fights in Paulie Malignaggi in New York. Zab Judah lives in Vegas. Khan fought him in Vegas. For Peterson in D.C., people talk about Khan's chin, which is probably not the greatest in the world, but he took on the biggest puncher in the division and Marcos Maidana. Amir Khan, he's what we call a gun. I got a lot of respect for Khan. But Khan has a flaw in this game. He's almost too fast. And I know some people might be saying, what do you mean by too fast? Sometimes if you can't control your speed and you break your technical responsibilities, then you're too fast. Amir Khan will start revving up and start punching, and he'll start leaning over his feet while he's punching. And anybody will tell you in the gyms, at least in the urban gyms anyway, you're supposed to sit down in your stance, sit your butt down, and keep your feet up under you so you can have balance. Your head is not supposed to be too far over your back foot or too far, over your front foot. You're supposed to, your balance is supposed to be centered. Amir Khan's balance is not centered. It's heavy on his front foot. That's a bad combination. That's just a bad thing for a taller fighter who don't have a good chin. Because the taller you are, the longer you are, and the more length you have to your body, the more you're going to lean over your front feet. I can't get over this habit that Khan has. It bothers me to a point. I'm always talking about it in my mailbags because I really believe that, Khan is going to get knocked out because of this habit. Khan also has this little Manny Pacquiao thing where he likes to earmuff and let you get your shots off. Khan has to be careful doing that because he's not Manny. Manny has a tungsten chin. Manny's going up the weight division. We rarely see him hurt. He's been stopped twice early in his career, but one of them was from a body shot. And when you got a high contact guy like that, that's been stopped twice in 60 fights and moved through the weight division, they have a different level of chin. It was no disrespect to Khan, but he has to be careful with doing that. So his flaws scare me in this fight. I would be able to pick Khan a lot easier if he mastered the style, mastered the concept of staying up under his feet, but he can't. Danny Garcia, on the other hand, is a kid that a lot of people aren't impressed with. But I'm impressed with Danny Garcia because Danny Garcia keeps winning. He seems to fight to the level of his competition. He's not blowing anybody out. He's not setting the world on fire. I understand that. But the kid is winning. He's beating whoever they put in front of him. And you have to respect that. You got to respect that. Although, you know, he doesn't have the look of maybe an all-time great and things like that. I understand that. But he's still winning the fights that he needs to win. And sometimes you get guys like that who just, you know, they don't win by this much. They win by this much. So you gotta you have to be careful and look at the whole scope of things before you get, you know, too critical of a kid like Danny. What scares me about Danny was how easy Eric Morales was able to put hands on Danny. That scared me. Eric Morales is a little old now. He's a little slow. He's a little shot worn. And it scared me the way Eric Morales was able to put hands on Danny. It really did. Eric Morales throws a stepping jab very similar to Amir Khan. I call it a stuffed jab. Michael Spinks used to throw this jab where they exaggerate the step on their front foot and they really step in. Bow! They really step in their jab. Danny does not defend himself well up the middle. He kind of holds his arms outward. He keeps his head on line. He doesn't fight you at an angle. He finally fights you squared up. Morales was able to hit Danny very, very often. And that really bothered me. Danny did what he had to do, but that bothered me in that fight, that an old guy whose best weight was 22 or 26, and he was able to hit Danny like that. Because Morales is past it. Morales is fighting on memory right now. And I thought that fight was a lot closer than what the scorecards show. But Danny has the unique ability to punch with his opponents. And even though he has 14 knockouts and 23 victories, I know you guys are crazy over KO percentages, but Danny Garcia is a legitimate puncher. I know guys who've been in the gym with him, and not one guy is dismissive of his power. Everybody says the kid can punch. Danny has a way of punching with you. He counters you. His left hook is looping, and his right hand is looping. He'll kind of give up what he's going to give up the middle, and he'll punch with you and come around and over. If you look really close, Amir Khan is constantly getting hurt around and over. Lamont Peterson hit him with big looping right hands. Marcos McDonald was able to hit him with big looping right hands. Brady Prescott knocked him out with big looping right hands and left hooks. You know, people think that was the beginning of Khan's troubles, but it wasn't. Khan was dropped maybe, I think, 3 times over there in England earlier in his career. I forget who it was, but the guy hit him with a looping left hook over the top. Khan is vulnerable because of that, because he shoots up the middle and his head goes over his feet. Danny Garcia has an extensive amateur background. And I'm sure he's seen this. I'm sure his dad knows this, and I'm sure they're going to try to take advantage of this. I think this fight, Khan will be winning on points consistently throughout the fight because he's the faster, more dynamic fighter, and he has the better jab. I think Khan's going to get countered. I think he's going to get knocked down. I think he's going to be in desperate trouble. But I'm going to pick Khan to win the fight. A close, maybe even controversial, a fight where they may have to do it over again. And the reason why I'm going to pick Khan is simply because it's hard for me to pick a man that I believe's only chance is to score a knockout blow. Because in boxing, nobody's really knocking anybody out right now anyway, except for Sergio Martinez and the Klitschko brothers. And at the top level, it's very difficult to score knockouts. You know, so it's hard for me to pick Danny to have to score a knockout in the fight because I don't believe that second for second, minute for minute, round for round, he'll do enough to outpoint Khan. He don't jab enough. He don't let his hands go enough. He's not slick enough to offset Khan and impress the judges. So I don't believe he can do that. I also don't believe that Danny is skillful enough at coming forward and being the hunter and getting to a guy like Khan on a consistent basis. I'm not talking about just having to hurt him, because sometimes you can beat a guy up without actually hurting him. I would feel more comfortable if I saw Danny able to come forward and do those slick things and get the Khan, sort of like Peterson was able to do. I haven't seen Danny do that. Danny's a slow starter. He gives up a lot early. His defensive reflexes is not the best. And Khan is a sharpshooter. He's very, very fast, and he really runs his combinations off. So I'm going to say Khan 116, 113. He gets knocked down. You guys are going to be critical of him. But you got to remember, everybody is not Roy Jones and Pernell Whitaker. Everybody's not going to be the guy who just pitches these perfect whitewash shutouts. I don't believe Khan's that guy. I believe he's a talented fighter. He could possibly be a great fighter one day. He's not a great fighter now, but he's a vulnerable fighter. And, you know, some people, that's just the way they are. Some people are not totally neat with everything that they do. And I think that Khan's going to be one of those guys. I'm looking for a fight of the year type of fight. A lot of contact, a lot of blood, a lot of, you know, excitement, a lot of shit talk. You know, I'm looking for a really, really good fight. Danny has a lot of guts. He has a lot of pride. His dad didn't put it out there, you know. And I think Danny's going to rumble. You know, he loves his dad. I think he's going to rumble. I think he's going to put up a good, decent effort. But I think Khan's a little bit too seasoned. I think he's going to bullshit his way out of trouble when he gets in trouble. And that's my pick. I almost picked the upset in this fight. I really did. But I can't pick the upset because of... I just can't pick the upset. You know, I'm a rock with my guts. You know, I love ambition. I love fighters that take on anybody, anywhere, at any time. I love that about Khan, and I'm just going to stick with that, you know. So hit me up Sunday morning, and we'll see. Good luck, guys.